Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started with our meeting today. If I could ask everyone to stand, we'll have an invocation. Please pray with me. Most gracious Heavenly Father, we want to thank you for this day. We want to thank you for the opportunity to gather here. We want you to bless this family that's present. We thank you for protecting them during their travels, and we ask your grace and your love as they leave us today. Bless them and help them to understand how great a community this is. And we thank you again for their presence. We ask your blessing on the servicemen and women that protect our country and keep us free. We thank you for this community, and we ask that you lead and guide us today and give us strength and knowledge and help us to do the right things. In your Son's name we ask, amen. Amen. Let the record show we're all here, and we'll call the meeting to order, and Councilman Parker will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. I want everybody to know we haven't had this many people in here added together in 2 or 3 years. We want to welcome you all to the city of Muleshoe. We are glad that you're here. We will get a chance to introduce you all here in a few minutes. We're glad that you're here. We really are. And some of you travel to great distances, and that's really cool. We like that. We hope you enjoy our community while you're here. It's a really great place to live. Mostly because of the people that live here and the cool nights that help you rest in the summertime. And it's a really cool place. I want to thank the staff for being here. And Mr. Claiborne, we're glad you're here. We'll give you a shot here later in the program. And Slater, we're glad you're here to keep us out of trouble.
Thank you.
And Gil, we're glad you're here. And thank you all again. It is at this time in our meeting that we're always glad to welcome visitors and receive public comment. And if there's anyone that would like to make public comment at this time, then we'll open the floor for that. If not, then we will excuse me, move on to our agenda. The first thing we would like to do is turn the floor over to Leanne, and she's going to administer the oath of office to our new police chief, Mr. Gary McHone.
Actually, I'm going to hand that to Zina here in a few minutes, but I just want to say a few words and take this opportunity to introduce to you our new police chief, Gary McHone. He comes to us from the town of Prosper, Texas. I believe he's going to bring great things to the city of Muleshoe and to our police department. So I'm going to give the podium to him and give him the opportunity to introduce his guests. And I think he has a few words before Zina actually administers the oath to him. So, Gary?
Foremost, I'd like to thank my family for being here tonight. I'm going to thank them again, but I guess to start off with, I want to say a few comments and take an opportunity to thank a few folks this evening. I guess I'd be remiss without pausing for a few moments and thanking y'all and thanking the city manager for the confidence that y'all have shown in me by appointing me as your next police chief. I know that is no small task, and had a lot of good folks that applied for that position, and I happen to be fortunate and blessed enough to receive this opportunity. So I definitely appreciate that. All right, because the chief's office definitely comes with a lot of tremendous responsibilities, and again, thank you for the faith that you've shown in me. Secondly, I want to thank everyone who took the time out of their busy schedule to be here tonight. Your presence here means a lot, and thank you. Those of us in law enforcement know that no police officer can truly be successful without the support of their family. The hours, the odd shifts, the stress, the missed birthdays, the holidays, and everything else that goes along with this job. It takes a huge toll on family life. And I'm very fortunate to have such a great and supportive family, and I sincerely apologize. I knew I was going to get through this and say, okay, you know what, I'm going to get through it. I'm not going to, I've said it a couple times, I'm good, I'm not gonna crack, but okay, we're gonna press forward here. All is good, all is good. I guess first and foremost, thanks to my son Ryan, who couldn't be here tonight. He's serving in the United States Air Force, stationed over at Lubbock Air Force Base. My daughter, Erin, stepdaughter, Haley, and of course my mom for making that long journey and always keeping me out of trouble. And my dad, who couldn't be here. Both have been supportive of me throughout the years. Don and Donna, appreciate y'all being here. Trent, you and your family. Jamie, of course, appreciate you being here and taking the time to come over and celebrate with me. And Susan, appreciate you putting up with my schedule. First and foremost, and all the events and all the ups, downs, good times and bad times over the years. Thank you. You should know that all my family played a huge role in my success over the years. I know that my children, Ryan and Aaron, have such fond memories, and there's a little bit of sarcasm when I say that, about me studying for promotional tests and quizzing me on such topics as blood splatter recognition, methods of fingerprinting processing, servant leadership, state laws, and crime scene search techniques. And they, that's again, a lot of sarcasm when I say that for sure, but abundantly appreciate that. I would also like to let the members of the Muleshoe community know who are here tonight something about the Muleshoe Police Department and their staff. We have a very good police department here, and I appreciate the lieutenant for also being here tonight with exceptional potential. People that I've spoken to after I was named police chief, both in the law enforcement community and outside as well, have made very positive comments about this department. Our level of service and our commitment to doing the right thing will be second to none, and I'm very proud to be part of this team. As your chief, I pledge to do my best to ensure this is happening and also to provide the police department with the tools needed for success. Serving as a police officer today means facing adversity and overcoming increasing challenges. We ask more of our officers on the street today than at any time in history. Policing is about much more than simply investigating crime or arresting those who have done something wrong or have done harm. It's providing counseling to families in distress. It's getting someone suffering from mental illness, medical help, or a civil dispute with neighbors. It's working with youth and the community through various programs. We require officers not only to be experts in law enforcement, but also to be many of the same skills of a trained psychologist, lawyer, and a community organizer. I know that Muleshoe officers and civilian personnel put their uniform on every day because they have chosen to help the people in this community and give that back to the community that they serve. We realize that there are some things that need to be done and they are not always easy to do. And sometimes the work is not very pleasant, but we come to work each and every day. We're available 24 hours a day and 7 days a week, and we always treat people fairly and with the dignity and respect that they deserve. Please know that on my watch, we are going to keep that level of service exceptional and try to find ways to improve wherever we can. One of the things that keeps me going in this job is knowing that a vast majority of folks really do support us, particularly when times are bad. During the past few years or so, we have seen tragedies occur involving police officers throughout the country, like senseless acts of violence that took place in Dallas, Texas, where 5 officers were gunned down one evening, and more recently, 2 officers in New Jersey. Since the start of 2018, at least 54 officers have died in the line of duty, 33 of which was by gunfire. In closing, I have a message for all the members of the department, Lieutenant. I need your help. No police chief can be successful without the input of officers and staff at every level of the agency. I want to hear your ideas, and I want you to be part of the decision-making process as we identify ways to move the Muleshoe Police Department forward in an exceptional manner and lay solid foundation for future success. I realize there are a lot of unknowns, and I realize there are a lot of anxiety. I've kind of, I guess, as the saying goes, been there, done that, and I assure you I'm going to do everything I can to alleviate those and make you all part of that decision-making process. As a great leader grows, things change, and things are surely changing in police work. Every single day, I would like to make a pledge to our residents, the Muleshoe ISD, and the members of our business community. Please know that the Muleshoe Police Department is committed to working with each of you to keep this community safe and a secure place to live and work, as well as to establish a community-based partnership. Our mission statement reads, the department is committed to the true spirit of service and protection. I know I can rely on the members of the police department to live by that message. Thank you, and have a good evening.
repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Gary McComb,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute
that I will faithfully execute
the duties of police chief
the duties of police chief
for the city of Muleshoe,
for the city of Muleshoe,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
We're going to take
Continue on with our agenda.
That's Mule City.
The first thing we'd like to do is the approval of the minutes of July 9th, July 17th, and August the 6th. I'll entertain a motion to approve those minutes.
Make a motion to approve those. Can I do all of them at one time?
We can do that all at one time.
On the minutes, we have to do them individually.
Individually.
I'll make
They
a
have to be
motion
individual.
to approve the July 9th, 2018 minutes. Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve July the 9th minutes. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
Make a motion to approve July 17th minutes.
Our motion is second to approve the minutes from the July 17th meeting. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries. I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the meeting of August the 6th.
Second.
We have a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Next thing we'd like to do is consider resolution number R-740-0818, which is the SPS 2017 rate case settlement. And Leanne, I'm going to let you talk about that.
Thank you, Mayor. If council remembers, back several months ago, we suspended the rate case pending negotiations with Excel Energy by the Alliance of Excel Municipalities, of which we have a seat on that board. This resolution agrees to the terms that was negotiated by the Alliance of Excel Municipalities. So in the end, the basic settlement states that SPS agrees to no change in their revenues. So it basically means that there will be no rate increase on customers' bills.
That's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
I'll make a motion, we approve that resolution.
Second.
Do we have a second? Is there any other questions or comments? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Next thing we'd like to do is consider awarding the bid for grant administration services for the 2018 housing program. And that grant administrator will be A&J Halco Services, which was the only proposal for administrative services. And I trust you all reviewed those comments from Kay Howard. And I'll make a motion that we approve that grant administration service to A&J Halco Services.
Second.
And we have a second. Does anyone have any questions or comments? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Next thing we'd like to do is consider letter of understanding with Randall Field for audit services for the period of time that will end September the 30th of 2020. So it will consume this year and the next year.
And the year after.
And the next year.
We typically, Randy usually offers those letters of understanding for 3 years. That doesn't mean that we have to use them. I mean, if we decide we're unhappy, then, you know, we would just not move forward with his services. But I would say Randy's done the audit for us for many years. He does a great job for us. This just allows him to, you know, figure scheduling and some of those kind of things. So it would be our recommendation that we continue that relationship.
I'll make a motion.
To approve that letter? I'll second it. We have a motion and a second to approve that letter of understanding. It extends to September 30th, 2020. Is there any other discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Next thing we'd like to do is consider request from Muleshoe Country Club for hotel motel tax funds for 2019 Mule Days and Kickin Nights. And I understand, Mr. Claiborne, you want to bring us up to date on next year's possibilities?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I'm here on behalf of the committee that puts on the Mule Days and Kickin Nights. I was told to give a little report on how how everything went this year and what we're asking for next year. For those that didn't go this year, we had 4 bands. We had a fireworks show, 3 food trucks. Kevin Bays, who's the director for EMS, managed to get the UMC ambulance brought here, staffed with 7 paramedics. That's just in case something goes wrong. That can treat 17 patients at a time inside the ambulance, plus set up triage and things outside. And the county paid those 7 paramedics, gave them a $250 total for all 7 of them so that they could eat while they were out here. They actually called me personally, that's great, actually called me personally after they left to thank us for having them and begged that we'd bring them back next year. Benny Parker also managed to get the Hockley Emergency Management Mobile Command Center that was out here. What that does, they set it up above the driving range where it can oversee the parking lot and the crowd. That has cameras that allow it to watch the crowd. It also monitors real-time weather in case there's bad weather in the area. It gives us a heads up that that's headed our way. They're also able to, if we do have problems at the event, they can process the arrests there, and then they can take them to jail wherever they're going from there instead of having to take officers away from the event somewhere else. So we got both of those, the command center and the ambulance, without any additional cost to us. That was arranged by first responders already here. We had deputies and officers both as security. Officers were paid for by the city and the deputies were paid for by the county, so that was not any additional cost.
Let me interrupt you a second.
Go ahead.
Do you need to go?
No, I do not. I have somebody covering me for the next 2 hours, so I'm good. So, but thank you. You have the list there that shows the $30,000 that the city paid out. First of all, thank y'all very much for giving us the $30,000 this year and last year. Obviously, without that money, there's no way we'd be able to put this event on. So thank y'all for giving that. That breaks down the $30,000 that was given to us by the city, how that was spent. If you have any questions on that, I won't go over it since y'all have it there. I will tell you, because I didn't know what one of them was. The Western Enterprises is the fireworks for the fireworks show, and the Comptroller of Public Accounts, that's the permit that we get from TABC to sell alcohol out there. On top of that $30,000, the total concert this last year ran about $39,000. That $9,000 was paid out by the country club. What else? The charitable donations, in 2017, we gave a check to Muleshoe Meals on Wheels for $8,650. After this year's concert, we are giving a check to Muleshoe Meals on Wheels for $7,125. We are giving a check to the Muleshoe Volunteer Fire Department for $1,500, and the Muleshoe Lions Club is going to get a check for $500. That totals $9,125 for total charitable contributions in 2 years, totaling $17,775. Just so you know, the country club obviously is a part of this community. Due to the fact that we've had this out there, in the last year they've been able to add a point of sale system that allows them to streamline the alcohol sales, the restaurant, the greens fees, cart rentals, everything through one system that's run through that allows them to print a report, so that's not all done by hand every evening. Also, the country club has purchased a website that will, first of all, this year it was up and running just for the event so that people could buy tickets ahead of time through that website. But that website will eventually showcase the 9-hole golf course here with drone footage of all the holes so people can look at them. We're hoping they'll be able to book tee times on that. It'll have pages for the men's tournaments, the women's tournaments, and all future events coming up at the club. So the club is very happy to have that, and without the money coming in from this concert, they wouldn't have those 2 new things. Again, thank you all. We were very happy with the way it went this year. The first year, we didn't do a very good job of tracking how many tickets we sold. We believe we sold between 500 and 550 tickets. This year, we pre-sold over 200 tickets this year. And then with people at the gate, we believe we had between 600 and 650. We're hoping to have numbered tickets next year, that we do almost all the sales online. The ones that we don't do, we'll have numbered tickets so that we can have an exact number next year on the people that attend next year. I've talked with the people in Nazareth, the people that do Celebrate Littlefield, several of the concerts in the area, and they've all told me that it's a 5-year process. You're not gonna do it the first year and be able to sustain it by itself without help from your community in the coming years. So we saw about a 10% increase in people this year. We're hoping that increase continues throughout the years, and that as that happens, that it becomes more self-sustainable and we aren't requiring money from the city and from other places where we get money. I will say this year I had people come up to me, 2 families come up to me from Colorado this year. I had several families from San Angelo, Texas. We had a very large family from San Antonio. So I do think it's bringing people from outside the community to our community here, staying in hotels, eating at our restaurants, and coming to see that event, which I think is what we're trying to do with the hotel motel tax money. So I think it's accomplishing its purpose. We are going to do this every year, the last weekend of June. I'm sure y'all saw the deal on that Chamber and Economic Development did on Fox News that showcased the concert and the 4th of July deal. And, you know, we'd like to see this turn into a deal that kind of starts with the concert at the end and runs the whole week with events all week and ends on the 4th of July. And that's something we hope to be able to do in the coming years. But thanks for the money. What we'd like to do for this next year is ask for $20,000. We have money that we've kept from the last 2 years. We don't feel that we need that $30,000 anymore. We asked for the $20,000 and hope that y'all will give us that. Any questions? Yes, sir.
Yeah, you said the checks were made out to 3 charitable agencies, Lions Club, Meals on Wheels, and what?
And the volunteer fire department. And this year, the fire department obviously did our fireworks show. They also this year did all the parking for all of us, and that's one of the reasons we decided to use them and to donate to them. But they did a fantastic job helping everybody park, shuttle them back and forth to the concert, and they told us what a great time they had and asked to come back and do it again next year, and we'd love to have them. So,
Any other questions?
okay. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
I know you've had discussions about the learning process. Do you want to explain any of that, or?
Use how long it's going to take?
No, as far as going from 2 bands to 4 bands.
Oh, sure. We're going back to 2 bands. With it being the last weekend of June, 1, it's too hot. We opened the gates early this year. I think the first band went on about 4, and there was not a whole lot of people there for the 4 o'clock and the 6 o'clock. Everybody showed up for the 8 and 10. We were pushed back a little with some problems this year. We are going back to the 2 bands, have it in the evening. Like I said, we're hoping to find some activities in the day that we can use. We talked about adding a car show this year to give people an event to come to that they can come to in the community, and then after that thing's over, it kind of is a natural transition over to the concert over there.
And the reason I ask about this is, I guess, I know we have a lot of people that watch our meetings on the internet.
Right.
And, you know, you're open for ideas.
Absolutely.
Let's try to, you know, get some more community involvement. Work on, you know, some other event that people can come and enjoy, that will bring people in. I'm wondering also, this is just a personal deal for me, is it possible to maybe set up something for kids?
And we have talked about doing something that maybe with the chamber, and setting up an activity during the daytime that families and kids can attend to that shuts down about 5 or 6, which then makes it where they can just leave that event and go to that. And we have talked about adding stuff, but you make an excellent point. From our first year to the second year, it went a lot smoother the second year. Sure, it's our second year doing it, but we also had a lot more help this year. A lot of people came forward with ideas, volunteering their help. The first year we did it, it was the committee and people from the country club that did it all. This year we had Lions Club helping us. We had volunteer fire department doing the parking, doing the fireworks show. We had other people come up to us and ask any ways that they could help. And it sure makes it a lot easier on us. And they do. They have good ideas that us doing this for 2 years, it's still new to us too, that we don't think of. So any ideas, anybody that wants to help, we are happy to take ideas and happy to get more help. So
Good deal. I think it's a good thing. I think it can grow. You also got more corporate sponsors, from what I understand.
We did, the community came through, we set a number for us to reach that we really wanted to reach, that we thought was a fair number to get from the community, and we exceeded it, and without too much effort on our parts. I mean, people really came forward, offered their money. I even had people come to me afterwards that said, you should have come and asked us for money, because they didn't give any, or we hadn't gone and talked to them, so.
Without a doubt.
They're on the list for.
Don't worry, they're on the list for next year. But it's, they came through big time, and a lot of them came out and supported the event, and tons of people that weren't there the first year, local people that are involved in farming and the dairies all came out and made it a point to be out there and come talk to us and thank us, and it was nice to see all those people.
Good deal. I just want you to get all the positive you can out of this.
All right.
Let's make it great.
Well, thank you, I appreciate
Let's
it.
talk it up to everybody.
Thank you, Mr. Flavin.
Thank you.
Any other questions from you?
I'll make a motion to approve the request.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the request from Muleshoe Country Club for hotel motel tax funds for 2019. Is there any other discussion? Not all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks for the hard work.
Yes.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Next thing we'd like to do is consider proposing tax rate for the fiscal year 2018-2019 budget. Leanne, you have some input on that?
Certainly. Whenever we started budget talks, I came to council and talked to council about our belief that the state legislature in the next legislative session will come back and want again to lower the rollback tax rate. And so based on that and the state's choice to try to limit our ability to raise revenues to operate the city of Muleshoe. It was my discussion with y'all that we raise our taxes this year. I think I can say discussions with staff, discussions with council. This is not a decision that we make lightly. It's not something that I recommend to council lightly. But to continue to provide the service to the citizens of Muleshoe that I believe that we provide in order to continue to keep the level of service. I feel like it's necessary that we do that this year. And so that's what I'm asking council this year to propose that we propose a tax rate of 0.7852 per $100 valuation. That includes 0.6176 of maintenance and operations and 0.1676 in debt service. It's an increase of 4.2 cents or 5.5% overall. We'll increase the taxes on a $100,000 home by $42. This is an increase in taxes of a little over $57,000 overall over last year. I'm kind of sorry that we're at that. I can tell you that our tax rate is lower than it was 10 years ago. I think that is a credit to the employees of the city of Muleshoe and that they're able to work as efficiently as possible with the resources that they're given to do the work and provide the service that they provide. So that would be staff recommendation to council this evening.
Any other questions?
I think we have, and I think we've done this, but I want to stress to the public that none of us take this lightly.
Absolutely.
It's hard to do. But in order to keep up the service that we provide, but not only that, but to try to help take care of our people that provide that service. Things are just getting more expensive. We have an infrastructure that is, let's face it, some of it's old, and we need money to replace it, and there's only so many ways to get it. And we don't take this lightly, none of us do, but I feel like that's something we have to do. So,
I think the biggest concern is with the Texas legislature meeting again in 2019, they're concerned to put a cap on it. And that's nothing but a Greg Abbott and Dan Patrick agenda. And so I think that's something we have to look at, because if they put that cap on us and then we're not able to sustain, we need to try to prepare for that.
I will just mention, it hadn't happened to cities yet, but 2 legislative sessions ago, they did that to schools. You know, they raised the property, the homeowner exemption, which saved everybody money, but they prohibited school districts from making that up elsewhere. The school districts that heard that was coming, there were about 25 of them that went ahead and did what y'all are doing before the law passed, and before the constitutional amendment. And right now, I'm defending 2 of the 3 lawsuits where Abbott and Patrick have hired 5 or 6 law firms from multiple different states to start suing school districts to try to prohibit them from making up the money that they've lost. And nobody asked me, but I'm telling you, the things that y'all are saying are very real. And there is significant pressure on local government entities, and it is going to get worse because I'm seeing it. I'm defending the lawsuits.
I move that the property tax rate be increased by the adoption of a tax rate of .7852, which is effectively a 5.5% increase in the tax rate.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Not, all those in favor say aye.
Mayor, we have to have a
Okay,
record
we need
vote on it.
a show of hands on this vote. So, we'll start. Aye. It's unanimous.
Thank you.
Yes. Okay. We'll move on to setting the date for the public hearings for that tax rate and budget. And because of the last motion, we propose to have hearings on the dates of Thursday, August 23rd, and Monday, August 27th, both at 5:30 p.m. Does anybody have a problem with those 2 dates? If not, I'll make a motion that we approve those dates for the hearings. Thank you, Toby.
Second.
Do we have a second? Any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. Motion carries. That's the dates we'll have those hearings. Now, the next thing we'd like to do is consider a recommendation from the Muleshoe Economic Development Corporation regarding changing from a Type A to a Type B corporation. There's a memo in your packet that recommends that the council take the necessary action to move towards that change to the Type B corporation. Would you like to make any comments?
I would, please. I first of all wanted to say thank you to the council on a couple of different notes. First of all, just being a partner in what the EDC has been able to accomplish over the past year, I think, or several years. We've been successful in what the mission was, and I think because of that success is why we are here with this recommendation today. I think we're looking for opportunities for some flexibility in what the Economic Development Corporation can do. And I'd also like to say thank you for being patient with the EDC as we did the due diligence to meet with different contacts to decide what was truly best for our community. So with that said, like you said, the recommendation is in your packet, and I'd be happy to answer any questions if you have any.
Anybody have any questions? We would like the public to know that changing from Type A to Type B creates a whole new ballgame. It allows the Economic Development Corporation to do a lot of various things that they have not been able to do in the past. And it also allows them to allocate the funds that are in reserve now that were collected through type A to be used in type B. And so we will, if this motion passes, we will spend the next couple of months trying to convince you as the public that this is the best thing that we can do as a city through economic development. So I'll make a motion that we approve that recommendation. We have a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Okay. Next thing we'd like to do is order a city special election to be held on November 6th that will require the voters or the community to approve that type B economic type B tax situation for the Economic Development Corporation. I'll make a motion that we order that special election.
Second.
And we have a second. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries. Next thing we'd like to do is to receive the financial statement for the month ending July 31st of 2018. I trust you all reviewed that, and I'll make a motion that we approve that financial statement.
Second.
And we have a second. Is there any questions or discussion about that financial statement? If not, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. Motion carries. This takes us to the administrative reports.
Thank you, Mayor.
And Leanne, I'm gonna let you take care of that.
All right. The TML Annual Conference will be in Fort Worth, October 10th through the 12th. Early registration deadline is coming up soon, so if you haven't already, let Zana know if you'll be attending that. Would you do so, please? Then the TML Region III meeting. The next meeting will be September 6th in Lubbock at the Scottish Rites Learning Center of West Texas. The program will be Elected Officials 101, but as we all know, y'all are experienced, most of you in this, but you always learn something. So something new. So we would encourage you to attend that and let Zana know if you'll be in attendance so she can reserve a place for you. This Thursday, August the 16th, will be our final movie in the park for this summer. We'll be showing The Rookie. It's a great family movie, and we invite everyone to come out for that. Muleshoe Water Park will close for the season this coming Friday on August the 17th. And then work continues on the ground storage tank project. We had a progress meeting on that last week, and we should start to see some major activity around the 1st of September. So footings have been poured, and those are curing currently. So we'll start to see some activity out there. And then the Texas Department of Agriculture will have representatives in Muleshoe for a site visit on Wednesday the 22nd for the CDBG grant. We're looking at replacing some water lines for that grant project. So the mayor has agreed to be here with staff that day for their on-site visit. So thank you, Mayor, for agreeing to do that. And then on Friday, August the 17th, from 9 to 11, we'll have a health fair at the Muleshoe Area Public Library. So we would invite everyone to come out and take advantage of that for some screenings that will be offered that day.
Good.
And that's all I have, Mayor.
The rest of the council have any remarks or comments?
No, sir.
All right. When does school start?
Next week.
August 21st,
21st.
And when is meet meal?
7 p.m. that same night.
All right. That's cool. I want to get everybody to attend. Nobody has anything else, then what we're going to do is take about a 5-minute break, and then we will have an executive session So, let's go ahead and we'll adjourn our regular meeting, and we're gonna take about a 5-minute break, and we'll come back and we'll move into that closed meeting.